convener meeting and welcome everybody here and those who are watching us online this morning.
They say hello too.
Okay, hello everybody. And Darrell, if you wouldn't mind to offer our prayer this morning, and we'll stand for the pledge.
Morning, Lord. Thank you for the opportunity to come and before you in prayer. Lord, we ask for your guidance, your work in us to help us accomplish what you would have us do and how you would have us to lead. Thank you for those that are here in attendance and all those that are watching. Lord, we just pray for a good day for your people here in Laclede County. Thank you for your blessings. Thank you for the sunshine, the rain, the growth, and this time of year that we stop and pause and are thankful, and something we should probably do every day of the year. Lord, we love you. We thank you for what you're going to do in our lives. Help us to be in tune to that. We love you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. We have minutes for November 12th, and I would entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Second.
Okay, I have a motion second to approve the minutes for the 12th. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Minutes approved as presented. Next item on the agenda, these are some updates more than anything else. DeWitt, Mark had emailed last week. They have the handrails in their possession, and then a day or two later, they received the replacement capstones. The one that was broken, and I think the ones that needed to be replaced because they weren't wide enough to cover the brick veneer. And he indicated that they'd do that work this week. Didn't see him yesterday, but it wasn't a good day, so I want to give you an update on that. ARPA funding balance, we did review that last week, and as a result of that, we put out some legal notices for the aluminum box culvert on Kentucky. We put out a legal notice for the possibility of extending the warranty on the roof for 10 years. And we put out I think we put out a bid for 2 patrol vehicles, and currently those would be funded, one by the Sheriff's Inmate Security Fund and one by the ARPA fund. So I think those are the 3 legal notices that were put out last week. We'll open those on December the 2nd. In addition to that, we did receive those quotes for the repair on rooftop unit 3. That was approximately $20,000. And then there was another $3,700 repair on one of the other units, and we had some problems yesterday, but I haven't learned any of the details yet. So that was an anticipated use of some of the remaining balance as well. And we did put out, patrol cars, and I did, haven't heard back, but I did reach back out to the sign company that had given us the proposal early in the year when we were in the construction phase. And I think it's time now we could review that. I haven't heard back from that company, but I hope to hear back from them soon. And if not, I'll reach back out to them. So that was an update on that. And then I did want to mention, this was a new item. We talked about one time a membership in the Lebanon Laclede County Historical Society. Their membership started at $100, and I would like us to entertain the idea, the possibility of being part of the Historical Society. And one of the reasons why is I've asked, and I met with Noah some others last week. We have a couple of areas out here in the hallway, which I think would make ideal locations to display some of the historical artifacts of Laclede County. Many of those aren't on display at this time. They're over in the library, and I think they're having a meeting Thursday night. And so I would like to offer them 2 locations out here. We'd have to do some work at some point if it's approved, because we'd have to put that stuff behind glass. But you know, we have thousands of people that come in the courthouse, and I think it would be an appropriate place to display some of the history of Laclede County, and it could be done kind of on a rotating basis. If you've been to the library recently, they have a display over there, just as you between maybe those 2 meeting rooms when you go in there on the right-hand side. Probably looks similar to that. But anyway, I'm putting that out for discussion. It wasn't anything we've talked about necessarily before, except in passing. But I think it would be, and they did. I think if everyone recalls, they were very helpful down here in the sheriff's lobby, the new sheriff's lobby, in putting that together for us. And they have some ideas there too that I think would lend itself to being able to display some of those, some of the remains or components that came out of the old jail. So that's my thoughts, putting it out there for discussion.
I would totally agree. Membership and the other scenario of buildings and display cases. It's a great idea.
I don't have any issue with it. I think it'd be fine. Along those thoughts, I don't want to, it's kind of the same thing as, I'd like to get the bear and the fish kind of out. I think after we're probably about finished with that signage for the new 911 project, maybe.
You want to move back where they were at?
Yeah.
Okay. I think Darrell, on that, there is a new kiosk that is on order that will be placed in the very front lobby down there, but it's not due to be here until after the first of the year. Okay. So they wanted this one left here functioning until the new one came in. So instead of taking this one down there, bolting it in place, and then taking it out and installing a new one, because I'm not sure exactly what the footprint of that new one is. I haven't seen it, but that's why those haven't been moved over there yet. Okay. But,
just a more display of what's kind of Laclede County history would be great. Yeah, I agree with that. Do we need a motion on that?
I felt like I had yes, I would entertain a motion, and I had an application form that's probably on my desk, and I would just ask for they had different levels. It was from $100 to $500, but I would like us just to entertain the $100 threshold at this point.
I'll make a motion that we can do the membership of the Laclede Historical Society for the $100 level.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, I have a motion and second to approve membership in the Laclede County Historical Society at the $100 level. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next thing, I wanted to go over the MAP conference dates as it relates to the commission here this morning. That's Sunday afternoon, Monday, and Tuesday. You're going, you're not going, you're going, Linda? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. And so with that, unless Darrell and David want to have a meeting next Tuesday, then I would suggest we
What are we going to meet with?
I don't know. Breakfast. I don't know.
There you go.
For eating.
And so with that, unless something comes up, we won't have a meeting next.
What I was going to say, unless something comes up, I don't find it necessary.
Okay. So that would make our next meeting on, I believe it's December 2nd, December 3rd. And on the 3rd, then we have some of those bids to open. So with that, I will go to public comments, items listed on the agenda.
So, is there any remaining ARPA funds that need to be allocated before the end of the year, or did all of those items that you listed sort of cover that and round that out?
So all of the remaining ARPA funds have to be allocated and committed by the end of the year, and we're working through that list, and that list will probably exhaust the remaining balance. And we look at that balance probably every couple of weeks, just to make sure we have the retainage left on the 911, which we've accounted for. We know what what some items are likely to cost, but until we open some of those bids, we won't know for sure. Okay. Now I will go to routine business. Did both of you have a chance to review the accounts payable? And now we'll take up some payroll. I have a question on that one. Would it be appropriate to be here or there? And that was Sam's retirement on that one. And then I have and then we'll go to general county business, but and we have peers here, office holders. Is there a spokesperson, or did I call on you individually? All in favor, say aye.
We were wanting to do something for a holiday party, Christmas party of some sort. I think consensus that everyone enjoyed last year. Jean and Tim put on across the way. We were wondering if we could do something like that, or if you all had plans, if there was something that we could help you with, because we would love to plan stuff.
Yeah, I think, just speaking for myself, and we really hadn't had any discussion, I think it was going to be discussed, and so now's a good time to do it. I think, Jennifer, I wouldn't have any hesitation in a gathering, Christmas gathering. I think it's a great idea. So we'll have to make that happen, and if the committee of 3 want to make it happen there, I would say go for it, and then let us know how we can help. As far as facilities here, the only room I can think of that could work for us would be the jury deliberation room, if we wanted to have something up there.
I think it's not huge. We were wondering if we could do it like after hours and then just set tables up in the hallway of the courthouse and then set the food up in like the employee break room.
Yeah, I don't know why that wouldn't work. Yeah.
We could just have it like after work at 4
Sure.
4:30.
Sure.
And we just thought maybe people just bring snack stuff, you know, just, and that would be something we could put an email or a flyer out account, that way we know proceeding and stuff.
But we didn't know if we would be able to, be able to set the table
Sure.
in the hallway, or.
Hadn't thought of that idea. I was just thinking of a room. I wasn't able to be there last year, probably a school event, I'm sure, but, I think it went over well.
And we were half to.
Yes, I didn't go.
We didn't.
All of the, people that work in my office, they all came and had a good time.
Good.
Office holders donated, I'm sure you guys did as well, but we each bought, $50 worth of gift cards. And, 2 gift cards or however many, and then it was a kind of a drawing, and then they won
Yeah.
$25 Applebee's or whatever, and, I think people really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I think, Darrell and David would be happy to double that, Jennifer, since
Their exit plan?
this would be their way to.
Oh, so you're gonna pay for the cake? Okay.
I mean, I won't be able to tap into your credit cards.
Got us again.
So,
Last, probably won't be the
yeah,
last time.
so what day, I guess, is something we need to look at?
We hadn't really talked about a specific day,
Uh-huh.
but we were thinking maybe that second week of December, maybe a Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday's church time. No, okay. Well, okay.
Wrestling.
So we're not real sure about a date.
No, not that
We
way.
will, and maybe the week prior, we'll come up with a
Okay.
date, but it's.
The second week I can do Thursday.
See,
They added in a meet on
So
Tuesday.
it looks like tentatively, second week of December.
So it'd be the 10th, that'd be the 12th, maybe.
I think it's the 12th or the 13th, but we could do that next week also.
Yeah, we could do
Because
that.
wrestling's over that week. Yeah, but don't base it on me, because I wasn't able to come last.
And we can just ask, we have each office holder ask their staff, like which, dates would be more, obviously we're not gonna be able to accommodate everyone, but we would like to, as many as possible.
I personally have no objection. I'll just open it up for discussion.
None whatsoever. Bring on the camaraderie.
We need some entertainment, but. I'm not sure.
You might get Gene back.
But we would like to do something along those lines.
And our staffs did really enjoy that. It was just, you go to visit with your families because they could bring their families, and it was just, they really enjoyed it. And they stayed for a long time. I don't know that we were out of there by 7:30 maybe.
Yeah.
It was, I know my staff really enjoyed it, so.
Okay. And Kristy, how many thousands of dollars do we have in the fund?
I'm pretty sure it was 600.
600.
Not
600,000.
No, I'm gonna go with the $600.
Okay, and so would that buy like maybe the meats or something, and we bring side dishes or something,
Right.
and then
Very helpful.
something like that, and everybody bring a dish and a dessert or something? Okay, all right, well,
All right, we'll get the consensus of the other office holders.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
just get back with you guys.
all right, well, that's
Send out
that's
something
awesome.
For sign up and.
Yeah.
I'll go.
We've got a few tables upstairs that we could lend to.
Yeah.
We've got-
And then we've got tables, I have tables
Yeah.
personally.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah, so we could all,
Sure, if
And
we
then
all
The chairs
our
would be the.
resources together.
We'll
Yeah.
probably borrow like chairs.
or rent them.
Hallway, this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
I think it's a great idea, so run with it.
Okay,
All right.
you heard it.
If you want Robin sending out one, because of all the email contacts, she can email her.
Okay,
extra added
once we
information.
come up with we'll talk to the office holders about a date,
Sure.
and we'll, if you wanna talk to your,
Yeah.
talk to everyone, and then we'll send out that big one.
Yeah. Probably at a point you're just gonna have to set it.
I know, it's a busy time.
Long set lessons.
Well, do you want to stick around for our discussion on the 2025 holiday and pay calendar?
Sure.
We'll have discussion on that. It just came about this morning, so I will pass it down, and nothing new.
We get paid every other week and we have the same holidays.
Okay. and they just advance one day. So this year, we're off Tuesday and Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and Tuesday, and next year it'll be a Wednesday and Thursday probably.
Are you doing Juneteenth as a floating Monday?
If you do it the same as last year, that's what you gotta.
So I would, after reviewing that, I would entertain a motion to approve that calendar for next year. And we'll get it published and put out.
Motion to approve the 2025 holiday and pay calendar.
Second.
Okay, a motion second to approve the 2025 holiday and pay calendar. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Okay.
Initial.
Sure, Linda will get that distributed and everybody can start making their plans for next year. Next thing, we had a CDT application come in from Nebo Falcon Fire Department. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
I appreciate your desire and willingness to do that and make it easy. Thank you. So there is their application, and then there's some side notes on that we might want to discuss too as we review that. We never did set that clock back. Yes, sir.
There's been a sign, a light up sign, laying in the yard there at the Nebo deal. Can we get it out of there? It's been there for 2 or 3 years.
Erik, I will confess, I'm not aware of it,
You seen
so.
that guy down? It's one of those leg signs that they put.
Oh,
like, slide
flashing
in.
arrow sign. Does
But I
it
think it's
belong
laid
to
I don't know.
the fire department?
I think it's the fire department.
A long time.
Okay, probably, we need to contact, the fire department and get them to, it's not a county, that I'm aware of, Erik, so, but we can ask them to, improve the functionality, which means being upright and not laying
It's
around.
supposed to be gone, I think. It's been laying there for
2 or 3 years.
a long
Yes.
time.
Laid up sideways.
Okay. I'll call Doug and,
I drive by it twice a day.
So you can help them get it, that's what you're saying?
I could. Yep. You get a couple of guys in the trailer, well,
do we have anything that's combustible that we put down there?
There's they've got some fill out there. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I didn't know
Yeah, some stuff
if we
like
had
that.
anything else over there on our side that,
If there's that kind of stuff. No. I mean, maybe
Last
more than I
time
think.
there was some concrete and
Yeah.
rocks and- But that also put brush there from time to time.
Erik, do you come by there, in the non-daylight hours?
3 red lights on the building. And you're right, it's not lit up very well.
I thought it was like a dust to dawn pole out there would probably, out front of it, would probably light that up well
There
enough.
used to be one there, because you know, we used to do an auction there every year.
On the building, I thought.
Yeah, I just don't remember.
I remember the kids and stuff playing out there, always doing the auctions.
Maybe it was during the before daylight savings times or something. I don't know. Maybe it's still daylight, or I don't know. It's just been dark since I've been around it.
Seemed like you used
Mainly
one
to go
at
out
the
there
end
and
of
put,
it, wasn't it?
Off the end is what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
if they were putting
Yeah,
election signs.
Yeah, we'd get there, you know, 4 o'clock or something, they'd always have a hog roasted or something like that. And we, you know, auction would run until 9:30, almost 10 o'clock.
I'm like, it's not lit up at all. Or,
It used to be, that's what I'm saying, it used to be something.
If they install something, I think they're gonna have to get it up and shine it down, because there are some neighbors across the road that might balk at
shoot
a
the
big light
out.
shining out towards the highway.
Yeah, I light up the building more than anything.
Yeah, there's supposed to be one up above working. That's what I was remembering.
At the door.
That may be the red light.
Maybe. It's like a security light though. Is it right up above the door, the red one?
There's 3 of them on the building itself. And they may be that way so it's not shining a light
Yeah.
out to the road. I don't know.
Still elections there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll wait till we get to that discussion, Darrell.
I think Hava could, we can have a
We can
light
change the
fund
light
out
bulb.
of it.
We can change the light bulb to a bright one.
This may not be a good time to bring that up.
May not be. It's, if you're voting early or you're voting late, that would probably not be easy to get in and get out of it. And find your footing with all the walking across that lot, and it's not really easy lot anyway to find places to park at, so.
Okay.
I think Havoc's really needs to unload some of ka-ching out there.
Bring out the rest.
Get some of the dust off of that Hava coin.
Road and bridge fix.
It's possible there too. It's our property, so what do you expect? That it's gonna.
Okay, so we've had a chance to review the Nebo Falcon Fire Department CDT application, their financial and their request for the $6,000. Before I ask for a vote on that, this is for discussion, not a recommendation, but I'm wanting to see if there's any direction we take on this. One incident happened down there last year regarding their well. It was struck by lightning. They do not have insurance on that apparently. Linda checked our insurance carrier, and yes, it's very possible we could have insurance, but because we raised our deductible in order to manage the premium, it wouldn't apply in this case. And then that resulted in some wiring, a trench being dug. I think they had dug some wiring put in there. I believe it was stolen. And then we went back, Road and Bridge. We sent Road and Bridge down there to cover that ditch up for them. In that process, we cut a telephone cable. And I believe, and I haven't seen an invoice, but depending on the direction that the commission might want to take, that cost them maybe $300 for Brightspeed to come down and repair that cable. And it was, it's my understanding, it was as a result of work that we done, trying to be a good neighbor, trying to help them out, being our property down there, trying to help keep their costs low. No good deed goes undone, right? So for consideration, I'm just putting that out there. It's not anything that we really need to act on today. I think the well's been repaired, the phone line's been repaired, but if there's any consideration to offer in addition to what we normally do for the fire protection district, I'm just putting it out there for discussion. No recommendation without discussion only.
But this is our property, right? I mean, it's our well, it's our everything. I mean, we should probably upkeep it up if we're gonna keep the boating down there, and we keep it there for whatever purpose. If we take a lot of concrete stuff down there, we burn a lot of brush and everything else down there, so it's to our benefit as well.
So those have already been paid? Who, they paid them? Well, maybe rather than do a financial, it kind of ends up being that way. What about if we would haul some like gravel on the place and just kind of get, we're taking care of our lots basically, but they get the better rock or whatever coming in and off the road, and they get there where they park at. I just remember going out and doing like political signs, and it was horrible trying to figure that out. Trying to figure where you would pull or park at. It was not easy. And I don't think they want a parking lot like what you would think of, but something. It's just an idea that
we should probably go in and put some new
throw some
lights on the building and keep
LED
that area
would be
lit,
good.
because we had some problems down there with people dumping, I know that. So if it was lit up, it would be less likely to be a dump site.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to approve the Nebo Falcon Fire Protection District final reporting, and then as well as their 24 CDT application.
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
A second.
A motion second to approve the final and the application. Any further discussion?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
We asked them to move that sign out front that's been laying down for a couple of years, and then we say we'll gravel that, do whatever we do. That's just thought. Good time to throw it in there as discussion.
Really, I think the election and the shop budget could probably carry some of this stuff. Maybe split that between them.
I should have warned you guys that I already had that conversation yesterday.
And it didn't look like it went too well.
Well, I said I took all of my supplies down there for election day so that they didn't have to front that, and then
Did you have a outhouse taken down there as well? Outdoor?
no, the indoor worked.
The power's working. The water's working now.
It's supposed to work.
They're helping you.
It's supposed to work.
No further questions.
Short trip, wasn't it?
Yeah, sure.
Budget hasn't started yet, though.
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
All right, so I had a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed, same sign. CDT approved. And I will call Doug and ask him to remove that sign.
Ask him to remove what?
The sign.
Yeah.
And then I think it would be, before we leave that topic, I think it would be appropriate that maybe we drive down there and look at that. Maybe if we get out here early this morning, while it's top of mind, while we have some of the ARPA funds left, might be a couple $1,000 project, might be $1,000 project, might be $100 project. I have no idea, but maybe we run down there and take a look. I haven't been down there for a while, and I know that MoDOT called a couple weeks ago, and they wanted to put some gravel there temporarily, and I asked them to call Mike. So, you seen anything, Erik, as you've driven by? Okay. So maybe we take a short trip down there.
Probably a good idea.
Let's see, the next thing that we can discuss, and
That
maybe
was just for discussion, state mileage at the bottom. That's
Yeah.
the state holiday
Yeah.
list that we printed off to coordinate with ours.
Is that what we are moved to?
No.
I thought-
That's what the state's paying this year and next year.
Okay, we're still at 40.
49.
Yeah.
it probably wouldn't be too difficult to retrieve what we paid in mileage last year, would it?
No.
Okay, well, I'd just be curious as we go in the budget, what we paid in mileage and then the impact of what this decision might look like, and the fact that we might have a vehicle that could go somewhere from time to time.
Office holders have got their budgets this week,
Okay,
so that's why that is, if we're going to change it, then they need to know it too.
okay. Could you bring us that?
Sure.
Could Mike get that, or would that, okay? I wonder if she'd have time to get that for us before we leave this morning, maybe. If we ask her, she probably would.
Let me ask her.
Okay. Mike had given me the SumnerOne contract to review, and I didn't get it on the agenda. I just really looked at it this morning, but this is the agreement on our email. This is a 3-year agreement. Last year in 2024, our agreement to use Microsoft services, and we pay this through SumnerOne, but I understand it's a pass-through. Last year was $6,377.70. This year it went down $5.70. Don't spend that all in one place. It was be $6,372. So that didn't go up. And then when you look at our monthly service, it's going to go up about $300 a month. And this service is for our servers that we have, our switches that we have that they monitor, and our firewalls. And it's went up a little bit for 2 reasons. With the addition of the 911, we have an extra component down there. And then when we secured OEM with the new switch and the service over there, firewall, that's what the difference is. And it's about $300 a month. So what we'd be looking at would be our monthly would be $7,425.60 for 25. And last year, current year, it's $7,112.80. and we need to get these executed. So I would ask for approval to execute those. There's last year's if you want to compare, and then here's the renewals there.
I guess the main thing that I would ask before I would make a motion on it is we're satisfied with the continuation of their service, and I feel like that they have done actually a very good job with it since they kind of put it all together, fixed it all, and got us into the 21st century on taking care of all of our issues with protection and services that when we have issues with phones or whatever those are, they've done it about as good a job as you would expect somebody to do and continue to use their services. So that seems to be the,
I was sitting back there 6 years ago where Jack is sitting as you were deliberating this and making that decision to go from multiple servers in the courthouse in a very decompartmentalized where this server's going down, maybe this office needed some equipment and servers going down, and I think you were confronted with a lot of maintenance issues, if I remember right. And there was also some savings by then transitioning to voice over IP phones, and I think we've realized savings through that that's helped offset this. And I think that in the 6 years since that decision, since you guys made that decision, the county has benefited from it, and then those who we serve have benefited from it, because I believe we have a much more secure network than what we've ever had. Last year with the addition of the 911, we've replaced aging servers that were giving us issues. So we have all the equipment now virtually is been replaced, with the exception of individual server or individual workstations, but we're dealing with that as we need to, which we've done recently. We've secured OEM over there from a standpoint of providing that extra level of security that I think most people expect. Can we be 100% sure that we'd never have a data breach? No, no one can make that statement. But I think we've went to great strides. I don't hear any concerns being addressed from the office holders. I think when they have a service request, it's being responded to. Will there be some, a glitch here or there? Yes, occasionally. But what we've done with the new equipment that we've purchased, we've now added the ability to remote in and diagnose, and also preemptively do some work before we might not even see it. And so I think the decision 6 years ago was a good decision. I think it's still a good decision today. And I think this company has provided us the support that we've purchased from them. And I would wonder if we would consider to put that out for bid, just what it would look like for another company to come in and know all the individual needs and what's really been any issues that might have come up. Mm-hmm. So I would hesitate, Darrell, long answer to your question, I would hesitate to walk away from that at this point in time. They've given us a 5-year commitment that they won't raise the rate other than if we add something. And that's what we've done this year. We've added, due to the firewall and extra component at 911. And then
I like the idea that at some point that they always good to have what could you other people look at providing service But what they have done is shown that by that 5-year commitment, they have lived up to their end of their commitment as well. They're under the contract. They have responded well. We've gone from, like you said, where people that were coming in to work on systems like in the sheriff's office or wherever, everybody had their own and it was all running differently. And when we have some problems, didn't know where that problem originated from. It could be wherever. And integrating all into one and getting it under and changing over from where we were at with the telephone system, nearly paid for it that first few years. So I still feel like it's a very necessary service for the county and protecting the county, and therefore protecting the county taxpayers with it as well. I just mainly wanted to hear what everybody's still happy with how their service has continued to be, and it sounds like it's good. So.
Yeah, and Mike receives a monthly report on the hours that we receive as part of the agreement. I think maybe it's 40 hours a month before we're billed in addition, and they've been very liberal in that process. If there was a question about should have that been one of our included hours or billable hours, Mike has been very diligent in tracking that, and they've been very liberal in working with Mike to make sure that we're within our hours each month. And if we go over, it's because of something, again, it's been a one-off. Somebody's purchased a new piece of equipment. Maybe that has to be billed out separately. So very, very happy with it.
I would make a motion that we renew the agreement with SumnerOne for the contractual period that they've stipulated, 3-year, I think it was.
For email, right?
Email was 3-year. The agreements are annual agreements on the monthly. But again, we have the commitment. This is the second year, the 5-year commitment that they would not increase the fee structure unless we added something. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I would second the motion. I don't believe in today's world that we can get by without this by any means. We had, just from what I know about computers, we had so many options to where you could get in this place before. We've nailed that down to basically one now, so, and it is much better protected, so.
Well, and if you look at the monthly investment, we would be hard pressed to hire an IT person to put them on staff for what this is costing us. IT people are in demand. They make well over 6 figures, even locally at our manufacturers and beyond, and we're not at 6 figures here. And the response time's good. So I had a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Contract renewed. I guess if you'll initial those, and then I'll execute it tomorrow. Okay.
It looks like on the mileage, and these are rough numbers, but there's about 12,700 that comes from funds other than special funds. So county driven, and then special funds picks up about 2,300.
So we could expect maybe if this were considered to increase that, rough numbers 50 to 65, it would increase by about 1/4 or so maybe.
So it was
60, I'm sorry, where'd I put that at?
It wasn't there, but it was on holidays.
That's all that's up.
There. So 16 cents. From us to the state is a 16 cents difference.
Okay, and what would that in dollars look like if we reimburse the same amount of miles in 25? What would that do to the budget?
It could be a $4,800 increase.
Okay. The possibility of 5,000 more. Rough numbers overall, yeah. Okay, Linda, do you have anything else for us?
So this is a court order on a grant that I was able to get. I can reimburse CDT funds for $5,500 back into the election side.
She's got them all. She's got them under her thumb. Fly that one out.
Try hard. But I am able to reimburse from that because I was able to get a grant, and so $5,500 of that can go back into the CDT funds. So that's the court order to make that happen.
Well, I don't know what you guys want to do, but
We've got
we'll take the money, won't we?
could be Christmas dinner. Which one you want to sign? The top one, initial up here at the top.
The other is just the supporting where it
So
went
I
to.
would entertain a motion to approve that court order for the amount.
So move.
Okay.
Second.
Have a motion second to approve the court order to accept the grant funding, and it would be deposited in CDT. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We accept cash.
Yeah.
Check,
Court order.
ACH.
These are service agreements from this 2024's budget to Conway, Hughes Center, and Red Cross, respectively, there, to the amounts that are within the budget set aside for them.
Okay, would we need to do these individually, or can I do
You
them
can do it
collectively?
collectively.
Okay,
That's all.
I'll let you review those.
They're all the same.
No, they're all
Maybe.
per budget.
I
They're
thought
not
maybe
all
they had
the
the
same.
same verbiage. I was gonna let
Oh, they
David read
do all
one.
have the same verbiage, different amounts.
David can read one.
The intent is just to say that it was used on countywide services.
Okay.
It's been a long-standing agreement between each of those agencies.
So what do we do different as we did additionals for these at the year? Was that out of ARPA or was it out of?
We discussed it, Darrell, early in the year, but we have not, to the best of
Didn't
my
make any
knowledge.
action yet.
Yeah, oh, I thought we'd actually done. No.
Well, what would it require to make an action?
A motion and a second.
And it passing, huh?
It depends on where you wanna write it, you gotta know that. Who's,
Well, we just got CDT funds deposited.
And we do have, and I haven't looked at that since the discussion on the chamber membership, but I think I'd be safe to say we have 15,000 approximately left in CDT funding that we budgeted for that we've not expended for economic development. And do we take this out of there, or do we take
No, that
this?
comes out general revenue.
This comes out of GR. So then it might be I guess, Darrell, maybe to your point, it possibly could be ARPA.
That's what the original
Or-
discussion
Yeah, I
was.
think that's what I remember at the end, but I don't know. Can we look and see what ARPA does look like then, and maybe
Well,
take a look at, I don't have to do it today, but once we kind of get some more confirmed cost, and maybe we'd look at that.
I think we'll have a
I think we'll do
tighter
it through
number
CDT.
after we open those bids on the 3rd.
Okay.
So
And
then
then
why don't we take this up?
Okay.
As an action item today, and then we can reconsider any additional after we open bids on the 3rd.
And just know
Sounds
that
like a plan.
December will be final about the 3rd weekend.
Yeah,
All
so we
bills
would
need
have to be ready to
decided.
do something if we did, whatever. Okay, yeah. You need us to sign all three of these, I'd make a motion
Make
for
a
the
motion.
service agreements.
And you
Yeah.
can read for each one, how much it is. Conway's,
David, you
Hughes,
wanna
and
do
Red
that?
Cross.
I don't care to do that. Here's the Hughes Center for $1,000. I think Conway Senior Center was 300.
300, and the, Red Cross is 1,000.
Okay, so was that a motion and second? Okay.
Yes.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of approving the applications as given? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Applications approved. All right. Gentlemen, we'll go into general county business.
I did happen to go over by the shop last week, and when I walked in, I could smell propane like crazy. They were there and didn't even realize it, but that heater was old enough that it's leaking somehow on through the system. We shut it off while I was there, and I called Randy and told him that we needed to get that replaced, so I don't know where we need to come over that with a budget or ever how, but we need to get that replaced. And I told Mike to get it replaced.
I think as a result of that conversation, I'm not sure where Mike had it paid out of, but he did have funds available. And was it repair?
I believe it was.
What I remember that conversation. Yeah. Seemed like he had adequate funds.
And I was kind of wondering, and I don't know, I need to go back and talk to Mike. I thought about this afterwards, these new systems, and I can't think of what they're called, that you put through the wall, and, you know, they're not that expensive, $2,000 or $3,000 at the most. That's got a wall air conditioner.
Split systems.
Split system. It's got a wall air conditioner, and it's also got just an open catalytic type not propane, natural gas now, type heater in there. If we wouldn't be better off to do a split system over there.
You're talking about in the office?
Mm-hmm.
And they have some of those now that I would say are, for most people, would be user installable.
Yeah. So something to consider.
Yeah, I guess we
Much more efficient.
wait and see if that comes up in budget. If Mike puts it in the budget or if it's something that comes up. Right now, since we went ahead and purchased this one, might be that we let it ride.
Oh, I don't know
Yeah.
if he's done it yet or not.
Okay.
So,
Only thing I have would be to kind of piggyback on the ladies that brought up the Christmas get together or whatever. Any other thoughts or processes on what we've done yearly on like employee lunch or any of that kind of stuff? Maybe it's just now starting to get kicked around in the pan, so we'll think about it then.
We got $600.
Okay. Well, I mean, David and I's already maxed out our cards, but the two incoming guys haven't been tapped yet, so, I mean, this could be.
We got 4 years to get there.
Yeah, but it starts in December. All they need is your card number and the date on the back. They just need
Yours goes
those.
through 30.
Oh, just need all the ACV number.
Verbiage, when your verbiage is, it's in there.
Once you're sworn in, there's in the fine print. You'd probably want to read
I
that.
haven't heard this morning date yet.
It's your credit card information, and it's like anything like that comes out of that.
Well, I will check it. Yeah, we'll let you know shortly.
No deal.
You say there's a chance for the credit card. I didn't quite hear that both of you get there, so I think it's a 50-50 thing, maybe.
I'll let y'all know that workman's comp has gone up noticeably. And, it's Road and Bridge is gonna see like $20,000 more hit than what you were budgeting for, but so are a lot of other funds.
Well, Linda,
There you are.
that's
why we plan for rainy days.
it's always great news when I just was reading that the state's revenues are down 1%. And
That's why they changed
Probably-
the unemployment rate down to, so that we start paying taxes quicker.
yeah. So what does that mean? Look, forecast with the 8 ball that the county's revenues look like.
I don't know what's happening with the government. Right now, sales tax is holding. I don't know what loss of manufacturing
Right.
may do.
New month, what that looks like. When does that figure come in? Typically, when you have that for
Another week, and I
Another week.
don't know when you do.
So what's the question,
When
Darrell?
you
sales
get your
tax
sales
for
tax notification.
November?
Well, we've received a distribution in November, so our last distribution will be probably that second week in January. Kristy usually brings them to us about the 6th or 7th day of the month.
So we would get one in the next one would be December.
He's
December.
He's been notified of December's, right? You've already been notified of December's? No, oh,
No.
okay.
No. So right now we are essentially at last year. So with the December, that would tell us, if we're gonna be up for the year or not. For what it's worth, at a council of government meeting yesterday, Miller County is up 5% in sales tax. And also the discussion, I asked the other two commissioners that were there what their thoughts were on the Eastern District Court of Appeals ruling on the stacking of the tax on sales of marijuana products, and what the Camden County Commissioner indicated to me their lawyer's interpretation of that is, as it goes to the Western District, it's being appealed and probably being appealed above that. But it's likely that the outcome could be that we won't be able to stack it if the sales occur in the municipality in the incorporated areas. It would be taxed at that, and if the sales would take place in the unincorporated areas of the county, then that tax would be applied at that 3% rate. So at this point, it's premature to do anything other than speculate, but it's possible that we'll not see that in the future unless there's a dispensary that's built in the county. Of course, we will suffer from that, because whether it's an adjoining county or whether it's when you leave the city limit sign, the problems that are going to be associated with that aren't going to just stay in the city. And just this morning, there's been a 1,000% increase nationwide in children ending up in the ER because of they're getting a hold of some of the goodies that have THC or whatever it is embedded in it. So we will suffer whether or not that tax is collected. I will be in favor, if I'm here in 4 years, to put this back before the voters at that time, let them reconsider if they really want marijuana sold in Laclede County. Now, don't quote me on that. Philosophically, I struggled with that previously. I did not support it when it was on the nationwide or in the statewide ballot. I still don't support it. But the problems aren't going to go away whether or not we are able to collect anything in the way of tax. And then it will never address the problems. There will never be enough money to address the problems that society is going to experience because of the impact of legalized marijuana. That's my soapbox. I'll get off of it, but we'll track that as it travels through the system. Maybe we'll learn more at MAC next week as to what their crystal ball says. Maybe Travis will speak to that, but at this point now, and then the second part of my question to the county commissioner was, what are you hearing on the amount that's been collected? And at this point, their attorney believes that won't be returned. There's just no way to really accomplish that. So, and we haven't touched a penny of that, to the best of my knowledge. And all of this is reported as one sales tax, so it's not broken out. So when you look at our sales tax numbers, it will include this. So when we report a final year sales tax, the amount that we've collected will include that. It's not broken out. So you may see a little bit of a bump because of that, Darrell, when we get to the end of the year.
I kind of look at that in a different way myself. I think we're down because with the increased prices that we've had in the last couple of years, and we're still remaining the level of where we were at the lower prices, to me, we haven't increased sales.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that statement.
So, speaking of the marijuana tax, and this, just stay with me for a minute. I'll try to tie all this together.
I need to get a cup.
It may be another cup of coffee. I thought about it myself. That may be why I'm rattling here. But, I'm just kidding. The medical costs for prisoners. Do we have any kind of what that looks like currently? Like last year, it just come up and just shot us. Wow. Is it anything remotely like it was last year? Is it down? Is it way above?
So
Writing those reports, I guess.
so the contract was renegotiated. As a result of that, we moved to a different provider, and that provider's numbers were coming in closer to what we budgeted for. Whereas the one that shot those rates up, it was going up like 125,000 or so. But I think the sheriff was able to secure another bid with another company that brought it back closer to budget. And I think we'll still be up, perhaps.
Now we've attained that level, we're pretty well at that level.
And you don't get to pick and choose who gets to live over there in the jail and what medical conditions they bring with them. So that last year was not normal.
It was an anomaly.
It could happen anytime, but it's not usual and customary.
Well, I just bring that up as the legalization of marijuana, whatever, probably plays into that as well. And you get people that are, I don't want to just assign that somebody that goes to jail probably has a tendency to have these drugs or whatever. Maybe it's drug stuff. It could be medical stuff that they're lumping in and have to go in and get whatever. But the marijuana fund could be used in that capacity. And that would be a good use, or something with sheriff's fund, and then it would also free up potential use of the ARPA funds. But I understand setting on that fund because we don't really know. But if you spend it, it's kind of hard for you to send it back,
Now,
or they claw it back.
Now that would beg a budget question from me.
I'm not sure I understand.
Yeah, I'm not sure I did either, but
Well, I think you mentioned a sheriff's patrol vehicle.
yeah, and that could be a legitimate use.
Go out of the
Okay,
other.
okay, I'm tracking with you now. So since we have to report that together, Darrell, at this point, I'm going to assume that becomes GR.
The medical? Medical is GR. I mean,
No, the tax.
Marijuana tax.
it is in GR right now.
It is in GR. Okay, so I would think that's what would remain. And so,
Because that's how you guys had initially set it up. It was gonna be nothing
Okay.
key to it. It was gonna be a part of whatever law enforcement general needs is what it was.
so
going
right
into.
now, we are depositing that in GR.
Correct.
And we didn't put a separate
Mhm.
budget line item out.
Is it?
Okay, well, it's where it needs to
Designated?
be.
I mean, it's designated separate in GR, right?
We know when it comes in.
And, or so maybe we're just tracking what the balance of that looks like. That's okay. It's not just a line
Yes.
number in GR.
Yeah. So last year, medical, to your question, was actually 193,818, and this year currently we're at 199,701.
What was it the year before all of that, right?
128,292.
So
We got there and we stayed there now.
now we're there.
And we'll still pay December. It's still
Mhm.
coming.
Why have we remained so high for the second year?
Wait for all the invoices, and
I think part of that, David, could be that the transition to the new provider occurred sometime in the current budget year. So I think there was some carryover from the previous provider. I'm pretty sure.
The duration may have bled over this year too.
Depends on how many you have, what the rates are for,
Right.
all that kind of stuff, who you have in there. Whether or not they go to the hospital, I mean, this isn't just services here. Medical is all medical.
Right.
Okay, we're in general county business. Anything else to discuss? Okay. Public comments, items not listed on the agenda.
Any update on the discussion for the coroner's informational report last week, since I know that they tabled it for future discussion?
Are you an investigative reporter? And that's not meant to, but are you an investigative reporter?
Sometimes, it's more that I grab everything, so sometimes I wear a lot of different hats,
Okay.
but yeah, I'm just following up from the
Yeah.
last meeting.
So I think sometimes that there are presentations that are made probably at different governmental bodies, whether it's at the county commission or city hall or at the school board meetings, and those are presentations. So when you put on your investigative reporter hat, I would encourage you to take a deeper dive into that.
Okay.
Because any request could be made. You know, I'm very pleased with the way we conduct business at the county. Our meetings are very open. I generously allow anyone, oftentimes without any notice, to ask questions. I'll extend that courtesy to any office holder, in any individual, and as long as it remains germane to the subject, and as long as it's respectful, I'll continue that. We're probably the most transparent governmental body that I've ever been a part of. So lots of times when we hear those requests, there hasn't been any dialogue that has taken place prior to that. So that could have been a discussion with a commission during budget, as it oftentimes is, that here's what I would like to for the commission to consider. And then if you do your investigative reporting, I think when you look at that, you might have a different opinion on really some of the ask as to why it was what it was. So yeah. So the commission during budget, budget documents go out. The department head or the elected official fills those out with a request, and sometimes those requests can be honored and sometimes they can't. And then I think it's dangerous when you start quoting, is it statutorily obligated or is it just simply a request? And in this particular document, if you looked at the back page of the front page, that we didn't get the back page to, the House Research Committee that places fiscal notes on legislation or rules that are adopted indicated that a public us or private, this would have not more than a $500 impact on public or private. We didn't get that in our packet. So that might be information you would like to know or not know. But I think the bottom line is that we're respectful of our peers that are elected officials. they're duly elected, and we'll listen to requests, whether we can honor those or not. It all becomes a function of the budget. And then, is it statutory? Is it one of those shall, as you'll hear Darrell say, or is it a may? If it's a shall, we hope that the legislature would not create an unfunded mandate on us, that we have to then try and take that out of all the resources we have that we fund county government with. Or if it's a may, then, Mom, can I have a chocolate milkshake after dinner? Or, is it a shall I have a chocolate milkshake after dinner? And sometimes it's, Mom, I want a chocolate milkshake, but it's not going to be that Mom's going to give you a chocolate milkshake after dinner.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to see where the discussion followed after that.
It was, I guess, in one sentence, it was a presentation. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Okay, I would like to take that road trip. I don't know who's going to drive. Actually, we could take the maintenance truck. You'll drive? Okay. Can I take a cup of coffee with me?
Remember the last time we went down 32?
Yeah, but
It's only 7.
yeah, it's not as many curves there. Do we have any? We're not going to adjourn. We're going to run down there and look at that. I will call Doug on the way down and ask him where he wants that sign, where he wants to take that sign to. And if we have somewhere over there that we have similar material and he says, I don't know where to go with it, I guess when the guys are down there, we could have them move it over. If we have a scrap metal pile down there, I don't know what we have down there. I know we take brush and we occasionally.
I'm sure there's rebar and whatever's down there.
Yeah.
A lot of that. So
Yeah.
probably it.
Okay. Linda, do you have anything else? No. Oh, okay. I'm gonna grab a cup of coffee. We will take a road trip.